Our next guest looks at life a little differently than the rest of us, ladies and gentlemen. And on August 15th, you can see him at the on the Showtime channel in the 10th annual Just for Laughs comedy special. Folks, please welcome back to the program, Stephen Wright. Stephen.
Thanks. So I get off the plane and I forgot to undo my seatbelt and I'm pulling the plane through the terminal. And the wings are knocking people over. And then I almost broke both my arms trying to hold open a revolving door for a woman. And then I'm driving down the street, and there's a guy hitchhiking. I figured I'd go back and pick him up. So before I back up, I put a tape in. I had a tape of that noise that trucks make when they back up. I had a bootleg version of that. I put the tape in, and I'm backing up, and I get there, and the guy gets in, and I said, "So where are you going?" And he said, "I love this album." And I said, "All right." So we start driving. Being really careful because it's an old car and I installed my own airbags in it. I got an old beanbag chair. And some helium and a compressor, and if I just hit the accident just right, I should be floating up in the sky laughing hysterically. So we're going, and I said to him, "You know, if I get tired, will you drive?" And he said, "No, I can't drive an automatic." And then a red light came on the dashboard, and he said, "What's that?" And I said, "Don't worry about it. That's just to tell whether or not that bulb is working." Then we saw a sign, "Next mile, 1 mile." Then another sign, "Next rest area, 25 miles. And I thought, wow, that's pretty big. People must get really tired around here. Then I said to him, I said, "So what are you doing?" He said, "Oh, I'm a student." I said, "What are you studying?" He said, "Journalism." I said, "Really? I'm writing a short story myself right now. It's the story of a photographer who goes completely insane, tries to take a close-up photograph of the horizon." And he said to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm a peripheral visionary. I can see into the future, but just way off to the side." And then there's a school bus conked out on the railroad tracks. Buses coming, train, bus. Oh, no. Can you feel the tension? Like in the movies, you know in the movies when somebody reads a letter and you hear the voice of the person who wrote the letter? That fascinates me. That happens to me when I read menus. Bus, train, oh no. Guy says to me, "My God, these people are going to be killed instantly." I said, "Well, everybody dies instantly. It's the only way you can die. You're alive, then you're dead." He said, "They're not going to die of natural causes." I said, "They're going to hit by a train. Naturally, they're going to die." Then I thought, we better get out of here. They're going to blame this on us. So we start driving, and I'm going too fast. The police pull us over. He says, "License and registration, please." I lean over to get it, and I said to the guy, "My God, that cop's voice, that's the guy who writes the menus." And he said, "What?" I said, "Never mind, I'll tell you later." So I give him the stuff, and I said, "By the way, do you know what today's specials are?" And he said, "What are you, a wise guy?" And I said, "I have my moments of clear perspective." Then I started thinking about my grandfather and how he had a special rocking chair built that would lean forward rather than backwards so he could fake interest in any conversation. And I started thinking about my new phone and how the first thing I did was push redial. The phone had a nervous breakdown. Then I started remembering how when I was a fetus, I used to sneak out at night when my mother was sleeping. And I thought, you know, now's the time I should start stealing some stuff since I don't have any fingerprints. Huh. Then I remembered when I was 6, my grandmother said, "Stephen, come over here." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You know, you're over there, now come over here." She said, "Here's $5, and don't tell your mother that I'm giving this to you." And I said, "It'll cost you more than that." I got a new dog. He's a paranoid retriever. He brings back everything because he's not sure what I threw him. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Nice to see you again, Stephen. Very, very funny. Appreciate having you along here. What have you been doing? Where have you been going? Are you having fun? What's new in your life? Any of those?
Well, I've been alive and, you know, I've been having some fun. I've been playing some games. And,
What kind of stuff do you do?
well, I played golf for the first time.
Yeah.
And that was kind of, well, I like playing different games. Like, I like to play with, when I go into a restaurant, I like to look over at a table and I'll just, like, imagine which table I would be shipwrecked with.
Okay.
You know, and I just really focus on, like, who would live in which huts and just really taking. One time, I think I went a little bit too far with it. I really focused too much, and I actually got up from my table.
Yeah.
I went over to their table. It was like 7 people sitting there, and I said, "Look it. Anyone else touches my water, I'll kill him." And then I went back to my table, and a few minutes later I was done eating, and the guy came and took my dishes, and he took my water, and
Well, what do you do now?
You know, I didn't want them to think I was bluffing, so I shot him. That's kind of true story.
How is the summer treating you? What are you doing for the summer?
Well, I've been, one of my best friends lives in Alaska.
Oh, it's beautiful up there.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
No.
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to help the story.
Well, in this one, you were there.
I didn't touch your water, though.
You didn't. And I couldn't believe it, because I don't know what I'm making up and what's happening, you know. So I'm up there. I go up there a lot, because he's one of my closest friends, and he lives, like, just in the middle of nowhere. And I went up in July, for July 4th weekend, and which was strange, because it doesn't get dark, you know.
Oh, that's right. They're so far north.
That's it.
Yeah.
So... I'm on television. So,
Well, it's just NBC, so don't worry about it.
so the fireworks, they couldn't have them. This guy says, "Come on, let's go in here. We're going to have them inside." Go in, guy shuts the light off, fireworks. I don't know. I have nothing to say about it. But I've played golf. I played once, and I liked it. Have you ever played it?
I've played a little here and there. Not very good at it.
It's all right. I'll play again, you know.
All right, good.
And,
That anxious nation breathes a sigh of relief. Stephen, hang on here. We have to do a commercial, and then we'll be right back here with Stephen Wright.